Copy constructor. Now what is a copy constructor? Copy constructor is the one constructor which copies one object to another. Okay, what is a copy constructor? A constructor, there is a constructor which copies one object to another. Okay, so now understand that every class will have a default copy constructor which is provided by the compiler. Okay, so whenever you copy one object to another, then in that case default copy constructor will be called. Okay, whenever you copy one object to another, that copying will be done by the copy constructor. And you must be thinking we do not have any copy constructor. Then remember that the copy constructor will be provided by the compiler. Okay, so now in what conditions copy constructor is called? Copy constructor will be called in these three conditions. It means that how can we use the copy constructor? Copy constructor can be used, so the first is through by initializing one object with another. Okay, suppose you are creating object 2, and then you are copying this object 2 to object 1 to object 2 using assignment operator. Using this operator we are copying object 1 to object 2. So in this case copy constructor will be called. Okay, so where is this copy constructor? You do not have created any copy constructor up to till now, but still you can do this. How? Because a default copy constructor will be provided by the compiler, and that default copy constructor will copy object 1 to object 2. Okay, so I'm telling you how when is that default copy constructor is used, or in how many ways you can copy one object to another. Okay, so this is the first way. By using assignment operator you are creating object 2, and I'm copying object 1 to object 2. So in that case the default copy constructor will be called and object 1 will be copied to object 2. The second way is through explicitly calling the default copy constructor. Explicitly means you are calling, it means that you are calling the default copy constructor. How you are calling the default copy constructor? Using this syntax. Okay, what I am doing here, I am creating object 2, here also I am creating object 2. I am creating object 2 and I am passing object 1 as parameters. So this is called explicit call. In this statement the copy constructor will be called and object 1 will be copied to object 2. So this is the second way of calling the copy constructor. Okay, whether you have any copy constructor or not, it will be copied, object 1 will be copied to object 2, and that will be provided by the compiler. Okay, and the third way to call copy constructor is in which condition copy constructor will be called? When using function parameter. Suppose this is a function definition, and this is function call. This is function definition and this is function call. When I am calling this function, object 1 and 2 are copied to these objects, passing objects, right? Whenever you make a function call, these objects are copied to these objects. In this case also copy constructor will be called. Okay, object 1 will be copied to po1 and object 2 will be copied to po2 using copy constructor. So these are the three conditions. First is when you are initializing, and second is you are explicitly calling, and third is when you are using in function parameters. Next, in above conditions the parameterized constructor is ignored. Okay, in these three cases, suppose there is a parameterized constructor, then you cannot create object like this, but here that parameterized constructor will be ignored. Okay, what does it mean? For example, there is a parameterized constructor and I am creating object 2, then I cannot create it like this. Okay, because there is a parameterized constructor. What I will have to do, I will have to pass values when creating these. Okay, something values when using parameterized constructor I will have to pass values, but when I am using this syntax, in that case parameterized constructor will be ignored and your copy constructor will be called. Okay, so here we do not need to pass any values because parameterized constructor will be ignored in all these three cases. Next is in the above construction the parameterized constructor will be ignored. Now okay, so we have a default copy constructor, and that default copy constructor is provided by the compiler, and that default copy constructor is used. What is the use of that default copy constructor? Copy one object to another. Okay, so everything is going fine till now. Now what problem may arise with default copy constructor? Let us understand what problem may arise with default copy constructor. Now always remember that your default copy constructor will make a shallow copy of your object. What does shallow copy mean? Shallow copy means that there will be an issue with pointer. Okay, so remember these two things, that whenever you are using the default copy constructor, a shallow copy will be made, and there may be some issue with pointer. How? So let us understand this. For example, we have created two objects. This is object 1 and object 2. Okay, now object 1 has some values. The value of a is 10, the value of b is 20, and there is third variable which is a pointer. This pointer is pointing to some value, and this some variable, and this variable has value 30. Okay, so this is the object 1. Okay, this is object 1, and there is a pointer which is pointing in this object. There is a pointer which is pointing to this value 30. Okay, now suppose I am copying object 1 to object 2. Here I have already told you that here object 1 will be copied to object 2 using copy constructor. So in this case default copy constructor will be called. Okay, so how this object 2 will be copied to object 1 will be copied to object 2. Okay, here object 1 is being copied to object 2, right? So how is this done? This a will be copied here, the value of a will be copied here, the value of b will be copied here to this object 2, and the value of p will be copied here. It means that this p will also point to this memory location. Okay, if you copy this p to this p, then both p will point to same memory location. This is called shallow copy. Okay, this is not correct. Why? Because suppose both are pointing to same memory location. Now suppose object 1 is destroyed, then this memory will be freed. Suppose object 1 is destroyed, then this memory will be freed, but this is not correct. Okay, because object 2 is still using this memory. Okay, so if object 1 destroys this memory, then it will be destroyed for object 2, which is not correct. Okay, so this is the problem with default copy constructor. What is the problem? It makes a shallow copy, and when it makes a shallow copy, there may be some issue with pointer. What is the issue with pointer? If object 1 destroys this memory, then there will be some issue with this pointer. Okay, it will be that memory will be freed for this pointer also. So this is the problem with default copy constructor. Now how do we overcome this problem? We create a user defined copy constructor. Okay, let us understand this. Okay, so the next topic is overloading the default copy constructor. What does overloading means? So this overloading, this thing is done to avoid the problem that we have seen just now. Let us understand this. Overloading default copy constructor, what does it mean? It means that we replace the default copy constructor by a user defined copy constructor. This is user defined copy constructor. Okay, so default copy constructor is provided by the compiler. We do not need to write it, but here we are creating a user defined copy constructor. Why we are creating a user defined copy constructor? Okay, why we are creating user defined copy constructor? Because in the default copy constructor, okay, so there are two copy constructors. Your name must be very confusing. So one is default copy constructor and another is user defined copy constructor. Okay, so this copy constructor is provided by the compiler. Okay, and this user defined copy constructor is created by the user. This is created by the user. Why we are creating this? Compiler has already provided this constructor. Why we are creating this? Because it creates a shallow copy. We have seen shallow copy, and with this shallow copy there may be some issue. Okay, now when we are using user defined copy constructor, then it creates a deep copy. Okay, it will create a deep copy, so there will be no issue with pointer. No issue with pointer. Now let us see what is deep copy and what is how this issue is resolved. Okay, so understand this. There are two copy constructors. One is default copy constructor, and if we replace this default copy constructor by a user defined copy constructor, then that is called overloading. Okay, so overloading means that we are replacing the default copy constructor by user defined copy constructor. Okay, it means we are creating a user defined copy constructor. Okay, so why is the default copy constructor overloaded? Okay, overloading means replace. So why we are replacing the default copy constructor? Because the default copy constructor creates a shallow copy and there is some issue with pointer, right? So the default copy constructor is overloaded, or it is replaced with by the user defined copy constructor. By user defined copy constructor, this user defined copy constructor will create a deep copy. What does deep copy mean? Okay, let us understand this. How does a user defined copy constructor work? How does a user defined copy constructor work? So it will make a deep copy. How it will make a deep copy? What does deep copy means? Deep copy means that suppose this is object 1 and it has some values 10, 20, and it has a pointer which is pointing to this value 30. Okay, now suppose I am creating and I am copying this object 1 to object 2. I am copying this object 1 to object 2. This is what I am doing. I am copying object 1 to object 2. Okay, so the value of a will be copied, the value of b will be copied. Now in this case deep copy is made. Okay, so this pointer will not be copied to this pointer. Now what will happen? A new memory will be allocated for this pointer. Okay, and this value will be copied to this new memory. Okay, this pointer will not be copied to this pointer. Please remember, earlier in shallow copy what was happening, this pointer was copied to this pointer, so both were pointing to the same memory location. Now what is happening, a new memory, first a new memory is being created. Okay, a new memory is allocated for this pointer. New memory is allocated for this pointer, and in this new memory this value will be copied. Okay, so now both the pointers are pointing to different memory. Now this is called deep copy. Both the pointers are pointing to different memory, and this is called deep copy. Now there is no issue. Suppose when object 1 frees this memory, okay, then this pointer still have its own memory. It will not be freed for this pointer. So this is the advantage. When this object destroys the memory for when this object destroys this memory, this pointer is not affected. It will already have this. So this is how user defined copy constructor will work. Okay, so let us understand this again. There is a default copy constructor. Okay, now if you replace this default copy constructor by user defined copy constructor, then it is called overloading the copy constructor. Overloading copy constructor. Okay, so what does overloading the copy constructor means? Overloading the copy constructor means that you are replacing this default copy constructor by a user defined copy constructor. Okay, first thing is, what is overloading? That we have understood. Now why is this overloading done? Why is overloading of the default copy constructor done? Because this default constructor creates a shallow copy. It creates a shallow copy, and which results in some issue with pointer. There may be some issue with pointer. Okay, so that is why it is replaced by a user defined copy constructor, which makes a deep copy, and there is no issue with pointer. There is no issue. Okay, so that is what overloading is all about. Next, let us see how is overloading done. How is the default copy constructor overloaded? It means, how is this default copy constructor replaced by a user defined copy constructor? Okay, so for this we need to create this new user defined copy constructor. We need to create this. How will we create this user defined? Let us see. So now remember that you will have to create two constructors here. So one will be a blank constructor or non-parameterized constructor. This we have already seen in last video, that we can overload the constructor. Okay, so when we overload the constructor, what we will do, we will create a parameterized constructor and non-parameterized constructor. In this case, we will simply create a non-parameterized constructor or blank constructor, and second thing, we will create a default copy constructor. Now how we will create a default copy constructor? So first let us understand the declaration of the default copy constructor. This is a constructor. Okay, you are creating a constructor, so this is a constructor, and inside this constructor what you will do, you will pass an object. You will pass an object, and this object must be passed as reference. So here this and sign will be used. It means that you are passing this object as reference. Okay, so why is this passed as reference? Because this is a rule. This is a rule that whenever you are creating a copy constructor, you must pass object by reference. Okay, so this is the declaration. Now let us understand the definition of user defined copy constructor. Okay, so what is, suppose this is your function call. Okay, this is the function call for copy constructor. Okay, this is the function call. So whenever a function call, in a function call there is a calling object. So this object will be your calling object, and this object will be your passing object. I want to copy this object to this object. Okay, so what you will do, will be your calling object, this will be your passing object. These are the variables of calling object, these are the variables of passing object, right? We are familiar with this. Next, you need to copy this object to this object. You need to copy this here. Okay, you need to copy this object to this object. So what you will do, you will write roll number marks 1 marks 2 equals to po1.m1 po1.m2 po1.mt. Okay, so this is the copying part that we need to do. We are copying one object to another. This will come inside the function definition of copy constructor. Okay, so let us define this copy constructor. This is the function definition of copy constructor. Inside this you will copy the passing object to calling object. Okay, why we are copying the passing object to calling object? Why we are copying the passing object to calling object? Because because when you are calling the copy constructor, this will be your calling object and this will be your passing object. So we are copying the passing object to calling object. So that is how your function definition should be written. Okay, so this is the default overloading of default copy constructor. Okay, so there must be some confusion between constructor overloading and overloading of default copy constructor, right? What is the difference between these two? Constructor overloading we have seen in last video. Okay, so in constructor overloading what we are doing is we are simply creating two constructors. One is parameterized constructor and one is non-parameterized constructor or blank constructor. One is parameterized constructor, one is non-parameterized constructor. So in constructor overloading we are creating two constructors. Okay, why we are doing this? So that we can create objects like this: student object 1. Okay, and student object 2. That's it. Okay, so why we are doing this constructor overloading? So that we can create object in these two manners. Okay, so in this video what we have done is we are overloading the default copy constructor. Now what we are doing is we are creating two constructors. One is we are creating a non-parameterized constructor, and second we are creating a copy constructor. Okay, we are creating a copy constructor. So this is our copy constructor. So overloading default copy constructor means we are creating a copy constructor, and constructor overloading means we are creating two constructors, parameterized constructor and non-parameterized constructor. Here also we will be creating two constructors, but the main part is that we are creating a copy constructor. One of them must be a copy constructor. Okay, so when we are overloading the default copy constructor, we will be creating a copy constructor, and the function definition I have already told you how you will write. Okay, so this is the difference between these two. Now let us see an example of overloading default copy and user defined copy constructor. Let us see an example of user defined copy constructor or overloading the default copy constructor. Okay, overloading the default copy constructor means that we are replacing this default copy constructor by a user defined copy constructor. It means that we will be creating two constructor. One will be our non-parameterized constructor or blank constructor, and second will be our copy constructor. So our copy constructor will be like this. Okay, that is what overloading means. It means that we are creating two constructor. One is your non-parameterized constructor, another is your copy constructor. So these two constructor we will create. Let us see how. We will create a student class. There will be these three variables. There will be set function, get, and add. Okay, next there will be two constructors. Now I have told you we are overloading the copy constructor, so we need to create two constructor. So one is our, this is our copy constructor. We are creating this copy constructor. How do I know this is a copy constructor? Because there is one parameter, and this parameter will contain an object which is passed as a reference. Okay, this is your passing object and it is passed as a reference. You are assigning, you are using this ampersand sign, so this is passed as an object, and this is your copy constructor, and another is your non-parameterized constructor or blank constructor. Okay, so we are creating these two constructors. Next, you will write the definition for set function, get function, and add function. Next, you will write the definition for your copy constructor. This is your copy constructor. Okay, this is your copy constructor. You will pass object as a reference, and then you will copy this passing object to calling object. Okay, so these are the variables of calling object, and you are copying this to calling object. These are the variables of your passing object. These are the variables of passing object. You will copy them to calling object. This is what you will do inside copy constructor. Inside copy constructor, you will copy passing object to calling object. Okay, and in this is your second constructor, non-parameterized constructor or blank constructor. Next, you will use these constructors. I am creating these two objects. Now here non-parameterized constructor will be called. Okay, when creating these objects, you will assign object value, you will assign value to object 1. Okay, and then you will print it. Similarly, you will assign value to object 2 and you will print it. Okay, now there are two ways to call copy constructor. We have created a copy constructor. Now let us call that copy constructor. There are two ways to call it. The first way is through this. Okay, object 3 equals to student, object 3 equals to object 1. What I am doing here, I am creating this object 3 and I am copying object 1 to object 3. Okay, in that case your copy constructor will be called, that we have created just now. That copy constructor will be called, and object 1 will be copied to object 2. Okay, another way to call the copy constructor is like this. This is another way. What you are doing, you are copying object 1 to object 4, and the copy constructor will be called here again. Why copy constructor will be called? Because this is the way to call copy constructor. Okay, now if you print object 3 and object 4, then they will be printed accordingly. Object 1 will be copied to both object 3 and object 4. Okay, so in this example we have created a copy constructor, and then we are calling the copy constructor in these two manners. First is this way using assignment operator, and second is when we are calling the copy constructor explicitly. These are the two ways to call copy constructor. Two ways to call. And how do we create copy constructor? Like this. This is our copy constructor. This is the definition. Inside the copy constructor, you will copy the passing object to the calling object, and you will create a non-parameterized constructor. That's it.